let's work with our enumerator a little bit here. You can also see that if we select up here now, we see that we basically have the class selected here to the left, and look what happens when we make a change here. We have our enum up there. Enums is our class.rgb values, and then look at that. We can specify, or we can select which ones we want, and that's going to jump to that particular area there for you. Easy to do. A big class, of course, you're going to be able to use that much easier. Now, we'll note that you could type in enum and actually see what you can work with as far as your methods here. This is going to be the enum structure here. If we set the cursor over our enum, we can see that it's a structure, system.enum. It's the base class for enumerations. So if you think in terms of structures and classes, the running joke, it's not really a funny joke, but the joke is, when is a class not a class? When it's a structure. So for the most part, you can look at it that way. So structures and classes definitely have their differences, and they have their very close similarities as well. We're going to look at the isDefined. This allows us to check to see if a particular text string that we might want to reference is defined. So it allows us to make some checks within our program. It's quite nice. I'm going to use the if function. We're going to see this in other videos, of course, but I'm just going to show you that we could use this to test for a particular condition, a set of conditions here. And we'll put in our type, and then we'll just put in a value here. And we'll put in an else condition, which is going to fall through if this is not a type that we recognize within our type. It's not a type that's defined. And that's that. So we'll build this, and you can see it's not defined, because it's yellow, and yellow is not defined. Just a text string, you put in red. Yes, it is defined. So a quick way to check for the definition of, or within our enums. All caps. Not defined, case sensitive. So that's one way to do that. We can also take a string and parse it as an enum type. So we can actually do some great things here. We'll just call it test. We'll cast to our particular type. We'll use the enum structure again. We're going to use parse. We're going to put in type of. And this allows us to use our type, and then we will put in a value here, and then we'll just do another write line. And we have to use the toString to cast that, to convert that to a string. We'll build. Successful. Now we'll just run it. We don't have to do that step just to do it. And we can't do that because it's not a part of that type. So we will hit OK to terminate. The requested value yellow was not found. So we did try to cast that to that particular type, but just like before, except now we would have to check for an exception. We have to put in code that you'll see in the exception section where we can actually do a try catch to make sure that we have that exception covered there. But now we'll do it again. And because we picked something that was in our enum type, then we're okay. So enum value is red. So we'll take a look at how we did that. All we do is we cast to our RGB values, and you can see the help text knows what's going on here as well. That's a cast just like any other cast, like we're working with the numerical cast as well. Enum is our object. We're doing a parse, and the type of is allowing us to get that type, the RGB values type. So we're converting the red string to a type that can be placed into our RGB values type here, test, right into that variable. Just like any other cast, it's just really a lot of work there to get that to do that with this particular way of working, but it's quite alright. And then we just output as a string, no problem if we didn't do that. Same thing, don't even have to worry about that if we don't want to. Not a problem, but oftentimes you want to convert. It's a lot better that way.